They took our land by force. We had no choice. We fought it every step of the way, but the state of Iowa, with the police power, took our land from us.
Legitimate government requires the consent of the governed, and it does not have the consent. You have seen that in the opposition for over 4 years. You don't even have the consent of the farmers whose land they could have negotiated a private contract. They did not give their agreement or their consent to having their land taken, and we stand with them. Dakota Access crosses under the drinking water of Des Moines. Future generations require for us to stand for the true public good. We banded together with the Sierra Club and with landowners to say Dakota Access is a threat to the true public necessity of clean water and safe drinking water.
There's no justification for using eminent domain in this case. I also feel that climate justice is indeed an issue that needs to be discussed when it comes to new fossil fuel infrastructure.
There is a swath about 100 feet wide, wider in some spots, that will be dead for a century.
And it does look like that it will probably never be the same, because we've got ground from 30 feet down that's been mixed up with my subsoil, so it's probably never going to recover. They set up their own rules and regulations how this pipeline was supposed to be installed, and they literally didn't follow their own rules. Even though this is not directly affecting maybe you, it is affecting you, because this is going to change the way pipelines and stuff and how they're looked at in this state and this United States together.
Elections have consequences. Let's all go out and vote, here in not too many days, and change what's been happening in the legislature and at the top of our government, so it becomes more friendly to those of us, not just landowners, but the people of Iowa who are deeply interested in clean water and clean air and quality of life.
We're hopeful and optimistic that we will have an outcome that recognizes the damage that Dakota Access and the Iowa Utilities Board has done to Iowa citizens.
Assuming that we get a favorable ruling, this is not the end. This case is going to be sent back to a lower court, probably the district court, to clarify, the Supreme Court ruling. It may even go back to the Iowa Utility Board for additional information from them in terms of the proper remedy to deal with the trespass and everything else. So don't believe this is the end. This is frankly only the beginning of another long road once this happens.
At issue in this case was whether Dakota Access should have been given a permit in the first place and then given eminent domain to seize farmers' land. And the right decision is that this permit is rescinded and that the landowner's land is returned to them, and that Dakota Access is denied access to both the land of Iowa and to the waters of Iowa. Future generations will pay the price of filthy water and climate disaster.